These are my impressions of what could very well be the fastest running shoes in the world, the Adidas Adios Pro Evo 1. This shoe has set the marathon streets alight, both in terms of performance as well as innovative materials, claiming multiple world records from September 2023 up to this point. I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to lace up these shoes and test them by myself, but just holding this shoe, you can tell this is an engineering marvel. At the 2024 Cape Town Marathon Expo, I got a chance to have a feel of these shoes, and I've gathered my thoughts into an impressions video. First off, the weight. It comes in at just 138 grams, which feels as light as a feather. Take it from me, this shoe feels like something that came out of an aerospace experiment. And the materials, when you feel the upper, it is incredibly thin and super lightweight, making this one of the lightest shoes ever to be made to be able to be taken also to the streets. Now let's talk about the tech in this shoe. 3 things make it stand out: energy rods, Lightstrike Pro, as well as the upper. So first, let's talk about energy rods. This is responsible for primarily stability and support in the shoe, ensuring that it maintains your natural gait as you run. According to Adidas, these run in parallel to your metatarsals, which improves running economy and supports efficiency as you run. Number 2, Lightstrike foam. This is Adidas's shoe foam technology. Think of it like a spring or a sponge that can compress quite significantly during a run when your feet land on the ground. The result is then twofold. The energy return when it springs up is quite significant, and Adidas says it's about 40% more efficient than its predecessor. And now because of this as well, it is also much lighter, which maintains the overall lightness of the shoe. Thirdly, the upper. It's very clear throughout different traces and parts of this shoe that Adidas has attempted to ensure that lightness is maintained, and it is no different in the upper. It has a mesh design, ultra thin, but also ensuring a lot of breathability. Now, as I've mentioned before, this shoe is breaking records. Just a few months ago at the Olympic Marathon, Tamira Tola broke the Olympic Marathon adorning this shoe. In 2023, it was no different in the streets of Berlin, where Tigist Assefa broke the women's only world marathon record. Now let's talk about price. Very few quantities out there in the wild, and if you can get your hands on one, it will set you back about $500 if you're in the US, and about 10 to 12,000 Rand if you're based here in South Africa. For a science experiment that brought about a 138 gram running shoe, this might just be worth it. But if you have no intention of competing professionally or running anything close to a sub 230 marathon, I struggle to recommend this shoe just because of the price. Whether this is the fastest shoe in the world might just come down to personal preference. But one thing is for sure, the Adidas Adios Pro Evo 1 has set the benchmark. What do you think? Are super shoes overrated, underrated? Should we keep pushing these boundaries towards much lighter and much more efficient shoes just to see what kind of times the marathoners can do when they take to the streets? I'll be hanging out in the comment section below, so be sure to leave a comment and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming impressions as well as reviews. Keep running.